when you were against Hogan and when you were team with Mr. Perfect, it was the only time you did steroids. Was that, and it's more of an overarching question really, was this part of the Dr. Zahorian scandal? Did you, and all that type of caper, and what do you remember of that?
No, that was before Dr. Zahorian got in trouble. This is when steroids was legal.
Yeah.
And so anyway, let me take a picture of us. There we go.
I would have posed for that.
What's that?
I would have posed for that. I would have posed for that then if I knew it was coming. Never mind.
Looked better. It looked better unposed.
Yeah.
Steroids was legal when I did it, I think 5 months. And then after the match with Hogan, I had a good, honest look at myself in the shower, and I thought that my testicles had shrunk to the size of raisins. So I decided to pull the needle out. And about a month later, all my muscles had deflated like a balloon at the end of the party. And so my point is, if I had a point, then I lost my sex drive, but I was married at the time, so it made no difference at all. Okay, and then about a month later, I got my sex drive back, slowly but surely, and I'm proud to announce that my testicles are now in normal size.
Good. This is a video podcast, but I will not ask you to prove it. Were you ever directly or maybe indirectly nudged towards the steroid look?
No, I'm not going to be one of those guys that blames my stupid decisions on other people. I was tired of being a jabroni, a jobber, enhancement talent, and I knew that the genius had given me new life. And I still regret it. Now, it'd be very easy for me to lie to you and say, no, I never did steroids, because, of course, I was never famous for my muscles anyway. So it wasn't as if I was, you're not talking to Lex Luger here or Ultimate Warrior, you see. But no, I was to blame for my own stupidity. And I give credit to myself for my own good choices too. So I'm just glad that I didn't have to, let's put it this way. I think I got away with it, but I'm not 100% sure it's not going to cost me in the end.
Fair enough then. A few things just probably after WWF that I find interesting, and I've heard the story before, but I always love hearing the story, is after your brother goes to WCW in '94, and then once again it's the same thing of, I won't do the voice, have you got a spot for my little brother? And then you end up with the sort of a preliminary character of Gorgeous George that was purchased. Who purchased the character from the widow of Gorgeous George?
Not from the widow, but from another guy that had the name Gorgeous George. She didn't have that luxury. And he bought it from somebody, but I don't know who that is. Somebody who went as Gorgeous George, though. And then here's another thing I'm not really proud of. I was under contract, waiting by the phone, going in the sunbed for at least an hour a day, and going in the real sun in Florida as often as possible. And because steroids was illegal, I was taking HGH, human growth hormone.
Yeah. And
it works too. And I waited by the phone. It never rang. Finally, I bleached my hair so badly, it started falling out. So I wouldn't have gotten over as Gorgeous George. I looked more like the Scarecrow in The Wizard of Oz. I'll tell you what, I'm not a good blonde. I had to learn that. It burns, and my hair is dark with wisp of silver now in my temples. And unless Vince McMahon calls me tonight and say, I need you to shave your head, or I need you to dye it blonde, or I need you to, do whatever. If the price is right, I'll do it tonight.
Fair enough. Did you, when you were under contract for WCW, which I believe was 4 years, did you ever wrestle anywhere else, or absolutely not do that for fear of maybe they found out and maybe it invalidated the contract?
I never wrestled elsewhere. I was just waiting by the phone. then toward the end of that, I started wrestling elsewhere, and I realized that that I had a lot of ring rust. So I'm gonna be honest with you and say, if they had called me and brought me in as Gorgeous George, I don't think I would have done well, because I had lost my edge. It's hard to explain, but when you get to a certain age, you can't kick it anymore. And you've seen some stars fall, right?
Yeah.
They think they can still do it, but they cannot. It's a young man's game. Now, there's people like Undertaker that can do it for a while, and, good for them. But no, there's a finite number of shots in the old magazine.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Enough is enough!
Booty poo candy ass!
I had him writhing in pain from my sharpshooter.
Rocky!
I am not a nugget!
Stick him straight up your candy ass!
I kicked your leg out of your leg.
The Rock has come!